Whew! Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I ran out of battery, so I can stick this somewhere else and not start. We have three topics here. First one, the Americans called the Russians. First one. Second one, Mr. Zelenskyy is the lover of people. Isn't that Alexander the Great? Alexander means the leader of man. Now he is an Alexander Stein. A new movie. Zelenskyy is Alexander Stein. All right. So we have Zelenskyy Stein. He sacks one of his main generals because he loves people. And that guy did not love people. That guy is a bad dude for fighting his war. It's the other way around. Now, who is partly responsible for what happened in Ukraine? A guy who ran on a peace, platform, and then he gave us war in self-defense, because that's what they do. They are fighting always in self-defense because they're good people, better than you and I. They have something moral, superior to us, right? So they're always in self-defense, and when they do something like it's in self-defense. And the third article that I have here, it has to do with what's his name? Rutte, but what's his name? Mark Rutte. You know who Mark Rutte is? Mark Rutte is the Netherlands Prime Minister who finally got to be the NATO Secretary. So Stoltenberg goes away, and then another garbage comes into place. Mr. Rutte. And remember, Mr. Rutte is a war monger. That's my assessment as a free person. With free speech, allegedly. So let's start with the first article. It comes from, we can find it in many others, but I picked Defense News. Pentagon head, dickhead, all right, speaks with Russian counterpart first time in a year. And supposedly this, I was about to say something, but I'm going to use from one of my favorite words that starts with a B, because I can't use that, I have to use something else. We have a, that's a goby. You know the little fish goby? The guvid in Romania, it's called guvid. You can find it in America as a goby. It's an invasive species. So the goby, this is like a goby, big eyes and like that, blotted. All right. Goby, what's up? What's up, Goby? All right, so Goby, he called his Russian counterpart. Why? Because he loves peace. Let me give you the answer. So let me put my goggles. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with Russian Defense Minister, the first such conversation in 15 months. Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder, Ghost Riders in the sky, announced the call in a briefing Tuesday, saying Austin initiated the discussion. So he woke up with laying on his bed. Okay, lady, all right, let me call the freaking Russian, make the connection. All right, hey, what's up? Whatever your name is, let me get a name for you. I can't remember his name. But hey, what's his name? Foreign Minister, I don't see the guy's name, the Russian's name here. Belousov. This is Belousov. Andrei Belousov. So where were we? Baby doll, yeah, work hard, yeah. Hey, Belousov, what's going on, Sergey? Was it Andrei? Hey, Andrei, what's going on, man? No time, no see. no time, no hear. Move, bitch. All right, so that's how I've been there. Not in that position, in the room when this goby called Andrei. Nevertheless, let's move on. Next article. New Voice of Ukraine. Pentagon Chief Austin and Russian Defense Minister Belousov hold first call in over 15 months. Let's see what they talked. And they talk about Ukrainska. During the call, the secretary emphasized the importance of maintaining lines of communication amid Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine, a writer said. I didn't drink anything, all right? He noted that the last time the minister and the two countries spoke on the phone was over a year ago, March 15th, 2023, when Sergei Shoigu was still head of the Russian Defense Ministry. Thus dismissal of pop. Next one. What do you think they spoke? I think that was part of it. Hey, how is Nastasia doing? Or Natasha? All right, my friends, here it is. Let's go to the next article. The Telegraph. The Telegraph tells us Zelenskyy sacks commander, and I'm quoting, who killed more Ukrainians than any Russian general. And we have, I want to show you this picture. That's a Ukrainian with a Jewish guy. Zelenskyy, he's a Jewish guy, he's proud of, and he should be. Right there. Look at Zelenskyy's face, and look at that guy. So the guy is like Zelenskyy is like a guy who you took your ice cream or a candy out of his hand. Just like that. Let me make this bigger. Oh my God, he's like, what show should I put next? Right here. Mom, my candy, my lollipop was taking off my hand, right? 50 cents. The Ukrainian killed more. Who started the war? Putin, the European Putin. And then this European general is going to be sacked because the guy over there, he is part of this. So I'm in charge of this, but I don't kill people. Those guys kill people. How is that called? Shifting responsibilities big time. He killed more Ukrainians than any other Russian general. Volodymyr Zelenskyy has sacked the top commander accused of, quote-unquote, killing more Ukrainians than any Russian general. I don't think so. I think the guys who cooperate with foreign agencies and interests to get, not their nation, the Ukrainian nation, at war with the Russians, I think they have a lot of on their hands. The Ukrainian president, who that? Who that? Who's Ukrainian? Said he was replacing Lieutenant General Yuri Sobdol as the commander of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces in his nightly address to the nation late on Monday. I don't know if this guy really did do that, but because you have a war, you have generals, you tell them to hold the line and the front, he has to hold it. He holds it, or maybe he doesn't. What do you think? He holds it by handing flowers to the Russians? When the Russians are saying that they are killing this many and this many and this many, what were the Ukrainians doing? I tell you what they were doing. They were grabbed, thrown out there in the front line for them. If you know what comes after to die for them. And then this guy say, okay, now I have to become the sensible, the sensitive one, the love of the people, me, Zelenskyy Stein. Are you kidding me? You shouldn't have started the war. You should have agreed to the law-binding document, which is international law, Minsk Agreement. I was about to say 3. 2, that's international law. You said, I don't even take that into consideration. That's Zelenskyy. Really? Trustworthy? Niet. Okay, Ukrainska Pravda. Zelenskyy in Donetsk Oblast introduces new commander of joint forces and urges protecting personnel. Stop the war. That's the best way to protect the personnel. Oy vey. Niet. I don't know how you say in Yiddish no, but I will make a word. Okay, that's the no in Yiddish, I think. I don't know. And I don't even bother to learn it. Why? I don't know. Because I'm a bad dude. So here is protecting personnel. Stop the war. And Zelenskyy is that's no in as I meant I made up word. All right. Then let's see the new guy. The new guy with the Russian general, which is Syrskyi. Syrskyi is Russian. Got that? Got that? You got a Russian. You got 4 Zelenskyy Steins. You got a Tatar, and you got all the Ukrainians in the front line. So this is a new guy. His name is Andriy Khnatov. That's what that guy's name is. He looks very, young. Looks very young. Anyway, here is this gone. And let's go now with this garbage, which is, Rute. And Rute is the new NATO secretary, which is Just a guy who's going to make appointments, speak tough, and have no decision power. The power rests in Washington, D.C. And we have Reuters, Mark Rutte, deal maker. And Putin critic confirmed as next NATO leader from October. He's a deal maker, man. He's a Jesus Christ. Anyway, Mark Rutte, longest serving Dutch prime minister. Rutte says NATO must be powerful to counter Moscow. Oh my God. He's a strong supporter of Ukraine's president, Zelenskyy. Rutte, if he weren't, he'd be now out of office a long time ago. Remember, my friend, what's his name, Geert Wilders is kept out. Why? He doesn't support Zelenskyy. So obviously you can't lead. You can't be an Alexander, which is a leader of men. Rutte has forged good ties with the EU and US leaders. He's a B-A-U-E-A. Anyway, good for him, good for him. Nothing will change but the rhetoric. The rhetoric will be these guys, Putin bad, huh? Anyway, as a Dutch prime minister, he was not voted personally in the office. His party was, but not he. So he's not an elected official. He's an appointed official of a party that got votes that created a coalition, and his party is not anymore the majority party in the Netherlands, but the other one of Mr. Geert Wilders. Great? Great. But anyway, now again, he's appointed. He's appointed as a NATO secretary. He's not voted, but you know, you want to vote? I can make you vote. How do you vote? How do you vote and how do you vote? Or, let me get my stash. How do you vote? How do you vote? How do you vote? I get elected. There you go, the reality. So let's go to this and see. I'm not going to go over his, maybe I go to his past from Sputnik. NATO approves Rutte as next Secretary General, and that comes from, now I'm going to New Voice of Ukraine. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, para paka paka paka, to lead NATO. He's not leading, he's a secretary. Have you ever had a secretary in your life? Have you seen what a secretary does? Who's a secretary? Someone else is always on top of her. Anyway, so the North Atlantic Council decided to appoint Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte as the next Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, succeeding Jens Stoltenberg, according to an official statement posted on the Alliance's website on June 26th, today. There you have it. And then we go to Sputnik, which I just ran for the other one. And we have right here, and it says, has served as the Prime Minister of the Netherlands since 2010. He is the leader of the People's Party. People's Party sounds to me communism for freedom and democracy. Oh, vey. A liberal political party. When you hear liberal, that means more freedom. But the liberals, which are on the left, they are actually bigger government, so less freedom. And they always, my assessment, are to infringe our freedom. They regulate. Not that kind of regulation, but regulate. When you regulate something, that means you infringe things. I remember when I was, I don't know, 14, or something like this, I asked my father, what's the difference between, you know, because Romania said it's the greatest form, in the communist times, greatest form of democracy and so on. And I said, why are these guys saying the greatest form? What's the difference, I said, in what you can do here versus in the West? How is the law or the constitution different? What's the difference? And he said very, very clear. He said, well, the thing is, over here in Romania, communist Romania, we are told what we can do. But in the West, he said, you're told what you cannot do. So if those what you cannot do are like here, the rest you can do. So you mentioned 5 things that you cannot do. That means the rest of millions of other things you can do. In communist Romania, it was you can do 5 things and everything else you can't do. So it was the other side. That's how my father explained it to me. And I was like, oh, okay. So now you have these guys, the liberals are just telling you what you can do. So it's kind of a democracy. You know, it's a Western way of bringing more and more and more and more and more regulations. So they take from the 5 that you cannot do and everything you can do, they make 10. That means they got 5 back from what you can do into what you cannot do. And they bring 5 more and 5 more and 5 more. And therefore this, what you cannot do, increases, and the things that you can do and is not mentioned, they decrease. This is the liberals for you. And not only the guys in charge of us, because I haven't seen the Republicans, which are the same as the Democrats, coming and say, wait a second, let's repeal that. Okay, let's put, okay. No, have you seen Trump coming with an executive order when he won? No. Did he repeal, let's say, the DACA executive order done by Obama? No. But he said, let's build a wall. What? And you tell me Trump is going to come and he's going to change shit? Nah, he's not going to be allowed. And he knows it. So he tried a few things. I don't know if that was for show or not. He speaks in a different way than the other garbages. But anyway, here he is. So here, Rutte is there. Zelenskyy is the lover of humans, where after all, protect personnel. Stop the war. Talk to the guy. No, he made it illegal to talk to the guy. But hey, he protects people. All right? And what do you think the other guy is going to do? Not send them to fight and then lose? And then what Zelenskyy is going to say? He's going to demote this guy or fire him. Why? We're losing. And the Americans are on my ass right now. Let's pull them out. All right? And, or vice versa. They're in my ass like that. Because they're at work with Zelenskyy Stein. Zelenskyy Stein is just a little clown. Unfortunately, dangerous clown. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.